Good day, dear students. Today's lecture's topic is communicative approaches. And there are 2 points I'm going to talk about: cooperative language learning and content-based instruction. Cooperative language learning is focused on the idea that teaching should make maximum use of cooperative activities and interactions, fighting against all the ideas that teaching should be teacher-fronted, and that strong and weak students should be educated separately. Cooperative language learning maintains that in cooperative group work, students are likely to scaffold each other and therefore raise the language level of the class. Cooperative language learning is based on the idea that the second language learning can be best done in heterogeneous groups. When all students work collaboratively and cooperatively for one common goal, it replaces the idea that the students have to work competitively against one another. On the contrary, it rather supports the idea Vygotsky claimed in his social-cultural theory, which states that interaction not only facilitates language learning but is a causative force in acquisition. Vygotsky was of the opinion that social interaction is seen as the only way of learning a language sufficiently, and therefore he came up with his idea of zone proximal development, and real potential development where the learner can achieve that potential only with assistance. In this slide, I am going to present some key features of cooperative language learning. It is an approach that makes maximum use of cooperative activities involving pairs and small groups of learners in the classroom. Raise the achievement of all students, including those who are gifted or academically handicapped. Give students the experience they need for healthy social, psychological, and cognitive development. Helps the teacher build positive relationships among students. Replace the competitive organizational structure of most classrooms and schools with a team-based, high-performance organizational structure. Let's reveal some goals of cooperative language learning. The first one, to provide opportunities for naturalistic second language acquisition through the use of interactive pair and group activities. The second goal is to provide teachers with a methodology to enable them to achieve this goal, and one that can be applied in a variety of curriculum settings, for example, content-based foreign language classrooms. The third goal is to enable focused attention to particular lexical items, language structures, and communicative functions through the use of interactive tasks. The fourth one, to provide opportunities for learners to develop successful learning and communication strategies. And the last goal is to enhance learner motivation and reduce learner stress, and to create a positive, effective classroom climate. To achieve group-based procedure, 3 types of cooperative learning group defined by Johnson. The first type, formal cooperative learning group, 1 period to several weeks. Specific task involves students working together to achieve shared learning goal, group assignment, group project, and some other similar tasks. The second, cooperative-based group, at least 1 year, support each other to achieve academic goal, role play, group discussion, overall activities in one class session. Achieving the successful group-based learning in cooperative learning, Olsen and Kagan propose the following elements: positive interdependence, fail one, fail all, mutual support, for example, single product like score. Group formation, deciding group size, assigning students to group, student roles in group. And the third one is informal cooperative learning group. A few minutes to a class period it can last and facilitate the direct teaching. Johnson and others posted 5 variables that mediate the effectiveness of cooperation. And Brown and Parker and Siltala discuss 5 basic and essential elements to cooperative learning. The first one, positive interdependence. Students must fully participate and put forth effort within the group. Each group member has a task, role, responsibility, therefore must believe that they are responsible for their learning and that of their groups. The second element, face-to-face promotive interaction. Members promote each other's success. Students explain to one another what they have and are learning and assist one another with understanding and completion of assignments. The third element, individual and group accountability. Each student must demonstrate mastery of the content being studied. Each student is accountable for their learning and work, therefore eliminates social loafing. The fourth element, social skills, that must be taught in order for successful cooperative learning to occur. Skills include effective communication, interpersonal and group skills like leadership, decision-making, trust building, friendship development, communication, and conflict management skills. The fifth element, group processing, which occurs when group members reflect on which member actions were helpful and make decisions about which action to continue or change. The purpose of group processing is to clarify and improve the effectiveness with which members carry out the process necessary to achieve the group goal. In this slide, I'd like to present the second point, content-based instruction, CBI. CBI is considered more a philosophy than a methodology. There is no single formula for this type of instruction, but there are certain models of CBI which are used worldwide to achieve a holistic and global approach to foreign language learning. In essence, CBI implies integration of language learning in content learning. Hence, in content-based learning instruction course, the focus of learning is not on learning of a language in isolation, but rather learning of language through the study of subject matter. CBI curriculum is based on a subject matter core, uses authentic language and texts, and is guided by learner needs. This means that the curriculum is based on a certain subject matter and communicative competence is acquired in the context of learning about certain topics in the subject area. This falls under the top-down approach to language learning where, unlike the bottom-up approach, a learner first learns the overall meaning of a text, then attends to language features. Content-based instruction is a significant approach in language education, designed to provide second language learners instruction in content and language. Hence, it's also called content-based language teaching, CBLT. Content-based instruction is considered an empowering approach which encourages learners to learn a language by using it as a real means of communication from the very first day in the class. The idea is to make them become independent learning so they can continue the learning process even outside the class. Historically, the word content has changed its meaning in second language teaching. Content used to refer to the methods of grammar translation, audiolingual methodology and vocabulary or sound patterns in dialect form. In this slide, I'm going to reveal some benefits of content-based instruction. Learners are exposed to a considerable amount of language through stimulating content. Learners explore interesting content and are engaged in appropriate language-dependent activities. Languages are not learned through direct instruction, but rather quite naturally or automatically. CBI supports contextualized learning. Learners are taught useful language that is embedded within relevant discourse context rather than presented as isolated language fragments. Hence, students make greater connection with the language and what they already know. In CBI, information is reiterated by strategically delivering information at the right time and through situation, compelling the students to learn out of passion. Complex information is delivered through real-life context for the students to grasp easily, thereby leading to interesting motivation. Greater flexibility and adaptability in the curriculum can be deployed as per the student's interest. Why does a content-based instruction lesson look like? There are many ways to approach creating a CBI lesson. This is one possible way. Preparation. Choose a subject of interest to students. Find 3 or 4 suitable sources that deal with different aspects of the subject. This could be a website, reference books, audio and video of lectures, or even real people. During the lesson, divide the class into small groups and assign each group a small research task and source of information to use to help them fulfill the task. Then once they have done their research, they form new groups with students and use their information sources and share and compare the information. There should then be some product as an end result of this sharing of information, which could take the form of a group report or presentation of some kind. Why are the advantages of content-based instruction? The inclusion of a group work element within the framework given above can also help students to help their collaborative skills, which can be great social value. The first advantage, it can make learning a language more interesting and motivating. Students can use the language to fulfill a real purpose, which can make students both more independent and confident. The second advantage, students can also develop a much wider knowledge of the world through CBI, which can feed back into improving and supporting their general educational needs. Also, CBI is very popular among EAP, English for Academic Purposes, teachers, as it helps students to develop valuable study skills such as note-taking, summarizing, extracting key information from text, taking information from different sources, evaluating and restructuring that information can help students to develop very valuable thinking skills that can then be transferred to other subjects. And in conclusion, I can say, while CBI can be both challenging and demanding for the teacher and the students, it can also be very stimulating and rewarding. The degree to which you adopt this approach may well depend on the willingness of your students, an institution in which you work, the availability of resources within your environment. It could be something that your school wants to consider introducing across the curriculum, or something that you experiment with just the 1 or 2 lessons. Whichever you choose to do, I would advise that you try to involve other teachers within your school, particularly teachers from other subjects. This could help in both in turn finding sources of information.